Have you ever pondered the stark contrast between wealth and poverty in the world's most expensive city, Hong Kong? It's a city that never sleeps, bursting with energy, where prosperity and opulence are on full display. It's a city of glass towers housing global corporations, roads filled with Teslas, and skies dotted with helicopters of the affluent class. It's a city where the wealthy live a life of extravagance, where the cost of living is as high as the towering skyscrapers. This is Hong Kong, a city that regularly tops the charts as the world's most expensive city. But behind this facade of wealth and convenience, there exists another world, a world that is often overlooked amidst the city's dazzling lights and breathtaking skyline. A world that starkly contrasts the image of prosperity that Hong Kong projects. This world is one where ordinary people, those who don't work in the glass towers or drive the luxury cars, struggle to make ends meet. It's a world where the city's high cost of living translates into a housing crisis of epic proportions. It's a world where people live in cage homes and subdivided flats, a reality that is as shocking as it is heartbreaking. Cage homes are exactly what they sound like. They are wire mesh cages stacked on top of each other, each just big enough for a single bed. Subdivided flats, on the other hand, are apartments that have been partitioned into tiny cramped rooms, often housing multiple families under one roof. It's hard to imagine that such conditions exist in a city as prosperous as Hong Kong, but they do. They are a stark reminder of the city's hidden disparity, a glaring paradox in a city known for its wealth. Amid the towering skyscrapers and glimmering neon lights, there exists a parallel world of poverty and hardship. And as we delve deeper into this world, we'll uncover the dark side of Hong Kong, the world's most expensive city. Imagine residing in a space smaller than a prison cell, in the heart of this bustling metropolis. In the midst of Hong Kong's gleaming skyscrapers and neon lights, exists a world far removed from the city's opulence, the cage homes. Picture a room, no larger than your average bathroom, partitioned into tiny compartments, each barely large enough for a single bed. This is the reality for thousands of Hong Kong citizens. Each day, they grapple with the struggle of cohabitating in such cramped quarters. Privacy becomes a luxury they can ill afford. The walls of their cage homes are thin and offer no respite from the sights and sounds of their neighbors' lives, a constant, inescapable reminder of their shared circumstances. Sanitation is yet another battle faced by these residents. With shared bathrooms and kitchens, cleanliness becomes a community responsibility. Imagine the difficulty of maintaining hygiene when your home is a single cage in a room filled with 20 others. But perhaps the most profound struggle is the psychological impact. The lack of personal space, the relentless closeness of others, can be mentally exhausting. The human spirit craves space, freedom, and in these cage homes, such notions seem like distant dreams. It's a daily test of resilience, a testament to the human capacity to adapt and endure. Moreover, the cage homes are not just a testament to physical and mental endurance. They are also a mirror, reflecting the stark disparity in wealth distribution in Hong Kong. A city that houses some of the wealthiest corporations and individuals in the world. Yet a significant portion of its population lives in conditions that starkly contrast the city's prosperous facade. In the midst of Hong Kong's prosperity, these cage homes stand as a stark reminder of the city's escalating wealth inequality. They are a sobering testament to the resilience of those who reside within them, and a call to action for a society that has allowed such conditions to persist. Now, consider a single apartment divided into multiple tiny units, each housing a separate family. Imagine, if you will, a residential flat. Now picture that flat divided, not into rooms but into separate living spaces, each one barely enough to fit a bed and a few personal belongings. This is the reality for many Hong Kong residents living in subdivided flats. In these micro-living spaces, families of 3, 4, sometimes even 5 are squeezed into areas no larger than a parking space. The kitchen and bathroom facilities are shared, and privacy is a luxury few can afford. The air is thick, the noise is constant, and the conditions are far from ideal. Despite the cramped quarters and less than desirable living conditions, the rents are exorbitant. In a city where the cost of living continually outpaces wages, these subdivided flats are often the only option for low-income families. The struggle to make ends meet is an everyday reality for these families, as they grapple with the rising costs of utilities, food, and transportation on top of their rent. Basic amenities, which many of us take for granted, are a luxury in these subdivided flats. Running water, reliable electricity, and proper sanitation facilities are not guaranteed. And yet, families continue to live in these conditions, caught in the vice-like grip of the city's housing crisis. The stories of those living in subdivided flats are stories of resilience. They highlight the struggle of ordinary people trying to survive in a city that is becoming increasingly unaffordable for them. They underscore the widening wealth gap in Hong Kong and shine a light on the darker side of this glittering metropolis. Yet in the midst of all these challenges, there is a sense of community. Neighbors support each other, sharing resources and offering help when needed. They face their circumstances with a determination that is both humbling and inspiring. Subdivided flats, another grim facet of the housing crisis, further underscore the widening wealth gap in Hong Kong. As we delve deeper into the issue, we must question, what is the government's role in all of this? The Hong Kong government has a significant influence on housing, given the city's unique land ownership structure. With the lion's share of land owned by the state, the government plays a powerful role in determining how much land is released for housing and at what price. Over the years, various policies have been implemented to address the housing crisis, yet many have faced criticism for their effectiveness. One of the key policies is the public rental housing program, which provides homes to those who cannot afford private rental accommodation. However, the effectiveness of this program is often called into question. The long waiting list, which stretches up to 5 years, and the stringent eligibility criteria have left many in a limbo. The government's housing ladder concept is another initiative aimed at helping citizens climb from public to private housing. Yet, with soaring property prices, the step up to private housing remains a steep climb for many. Critics argue that the government's approach to housing is too narrow, focusing primarily on property ownership, rather than the broader issue of affordable, adequate housing. They urge the government to reassess its housing policies and consider more innovative solutions. In response to these critiques, the government has made efforts to increase land supply and accelerate public housing production. Yet, these solutions face their own set of challenges. Land reclamation and the development of new towns are not only costly, but also time-consuming. Meanwhile, the push for more public housing often meets resistance from local communities. The government is also experimenting with transitional housing projects, partnering with NGOs to provide temporary homes for those waiting for public housing. However, these projects are just a small piece of the puzzle and cannot fully address the immense housing demand. While the government grapples with these issues, the city's poorest citizens continue to bear the brunt of an escalating housing crisis. Hong Kong, a city of paradoxes, where abundant wealth exists alongside abject poverty. As we've journeyed through the unseen corners of this metropolis, we've uncovered a startling dichotomy. A city that glimmers with the sheen of prosperity yet shrouds a darker reality beneath its dazzling facade. In this city, ultra-modern skyscrapers and luxury vehicles are a stark contrast to the cage homes and subdivided flats that many call home. In the heart of Hong Kong, there's an unexpected narrative, a tale of two cities, if you will. On one side, the city glows with the affluence of banks, corporations, and the wealthy elite. On the other, a struggle for space, comfort, and dignity for those who don't have a hand in this wealth. The cage homes, as we've explored, are a poignant symbol of this disparity. These cramped wire mesh cubicles, often shared by multiple occupants, are a far cry from the comfort and convenience of the glass towers that dot the skyline. Similarly, the reality of subdivided flats, where families squeeze into alarmingly small spaces, paints a clear picture of the inequality that exists. It's a stark reminder that not everyone gets to share in the city's prosperity. And then, we have the role of the government. While strides have been taken to alleviate the housing crisis, the problem persists. The question of whether enough is being done continues to hang in the air, a silent plea for more action, more empathy, and more solutions. What we've seen is a city of contrasts, where the divide between the haves and the have-nots is not just visible, but palpable. It's a paradox that begs the question, how can such wealth and poverty coexist in the same space? It's an urgent call for introspection, for a collective effort to bridge this gap, to ensure that the city's prosperity is felt by all its citizens, not just a select few. As the sun sets on another day in Hong Kong, the question remains, how can one of the world's richest cities better care for its poorest citizens?